Hello friends, my name's James, and this is my 1965 Alberg 30 sloop SV Tritea. We're on a mission to sail around the world and see as much of this beautiful planet as possible. On this season, we're working our way through New Zealand. I want to share with you all the magic that is Aotearoa. Chilly breeze out. Pretty windy last night. We didn't move an inch. Held perfect. Time to get the show on the road. I need to add some diesel fuel. We should be able to sail the whole way, but I like to have the fuel topped up. Easier to add it at anchor rather than underway. Some boats, fishing boats out. Maybe they're shrimping boats. I heard a very strange sound in the boat last night, unlike any sound I've ever heard, where it sounded like an extreme rainstorm outside, but hitting the hull from the bottom. Like, I've been in a billion anchorages where you hear the snapping shrimp. It didn't sound like that. It sounded very loud from all directions. So maybe it was large shrimp. I don't know. Never heard it before anywhere I've been. It was pretty neat. So, but that might be a shrimping boat. I don't know. So yeah, pretty chill night here at Smugglers. Now it's time to sail 44.4 nautical miles to Aotearoa, Great Barrier Island. But you can see the hen and chickens there, and then Great Barrier is just beyond that. Pretty easy. Should be a pretty good, easy sail today. We are underway. Boy, it's been a minute since I had to haul that anchor up by hand. Woo, that's hard work. Wind's a little fluky right here close to shore, but I think once we get out a bit, it'll normalize. And, oh, we got wind to sail. Good. Just gotta dodge this giant cargo ship that's coming out. Had to rig us up for wing and wing. Got the preventer on. Got the pole out. Kind of spicy out. Hydrovane's doing all the steering. My little Raymarine could not handle the pressures. Raymarine auto tiller is what I normally use coastally, but it was too much for it. I don't know, it's probably blowing. I don't know what it's blowing. Maybe, I don't know, 15 knots or something. 12 to 15 is my guess. Seems like a strong current running too, though. But she's starting to kind of stabilize. Need to get our speed back up. We're doing like 4 knots now. We were doing 6 earlier, but it was also kind of out of control at that point. Yeah, the sea state's pretty lively. have done like 3 different sail configurations in the last like hour. We're finally away from the headland, so the wind is kind of settling into its like where it's actually blowing, which way it's actually blowing. Near to Whangarei heads, it was like doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but yeah, seems like we're getting into the proper wind, and it's not nearly as strong as it was close to shore. And yeah, on course and excited to be doing some sailing without the engine running. Beautiful, quiet sailing. We are sailing past Little Barrier Island right now, and we are 15 miles from Great Barrier Island, Aotearoa. It's kind of strange. The winds have come down. So they were supposed to build throughout the afternoon, and there was a lot of acceleration zone near the Hen and Chicks, so that was a little lively. But once we got out away from that and out into open water, it's like been trending less and less wind. We've still been doing like between 5 and 6 knots pretty much all day. Now we're averaging 4.5 to 5 knots, sometimes more when we surf. But been a very beautiful sunny day. The air's a little bit chilly, but for the most part it's very gorgeous out, especially for New Zealand. No rain clouds, just gorgeous blue skies, and a lovely sail so far. So stoked. I love dolphin. Never gets old, ever. We have arrived to Great Barrier Island, Aotearoa. About to turn the engine on so we got to motor up through this tight cut and into the anchorage we're going to be at tonight. Probably take the wind right to the limit, but there are some rocks and stuff kind of scattered about I need to keep an eye on. The wind vane is not very gentle in its maneuvers, so in tight quarters the wind vane is not a good autopilot. So I rehooked up the auto tiller. We'll see. I was having trouble with it this morning, so we'll see if it works this afternoon. In its defense, there was a gnarly current and pretty strong winds, and the boat was like not balanced when it was having problems, so we'll see what happens. Looks like a really cool, very big, beautiful island. Oh, the clouds over here are cool. So we're approaching this pass and you can't see it at all. It just looks like land. If it wasn't for the charts, there's like, you know, no way you would know it's there unless you were in a small boat and you happen to find it. It is always creepy coming into places like this. My Raymarine tiller thing totally shit the bed. That's the second one of those I've gone through. They're not very robust. So the hand steering us into the anchorage, I'll try to see if I can at least piece the two together and try to get one of them working later, but little tricky doing this stuff single-handed without an electronic autopilot, that's for sure. It's doable, but it's a lot easier if you have an electronic tiller pilot like that. Cool little cut. It's 99 feet deep in this channel. All these anchorages are much deeper than most of the anchors I've been in New Zealand as well. Heading for Port Fitzroy. We're gonna peekaboo over there, see if there's a good anchoring spot, and get settled in for a few days. It's supposed to be some weather coming, but the forecast keeps changing, so who knows. But in theory, it's supposed to be very rainy for 3 days. Now it's just time to find a spot. See how close in I can get. Find some decent depth. Very, very deep over here. Like 70 feet right now where we're at. Whew, found us a spot. We're anchored in 44 feet of water. I don't know the meters off the top of my head, so I'll put it on the screen right now. Paid out like just over 4 scope. Not concerned about the scope because it's so deep. Weight gets heavier at depth. And I got to get my rangefinder out and keep an eye on the shore. I'm sure we're fine, but it always looks closer than it is. But seems very close. I drove like very close to shore and it was like 38 feet, almost all the way up to the rocks. And I know they say you can anchor here and kind of back up and tie to a tree because it's so steep underwater. So we'll hope that's true. Oh, now it's time to relax. It's been a long day. I'm gonna download the weather, see what the latest info is on the weather that's coming, wind direction and stuff like that. But I'd like to stay here for a couple days and just relax. There's crazy birds in this forest. One of them sounded like that weird smoke creature from that show Lost. It was very strange. So, time to make dinner and sit anchor watch and turn into mush. I can't recall if I've ever shown me using my rangefinder on the channel before on any episodes, but it is an essential tool for me for anchoring. It's a little rangefinder. This one's used for like crossbow hunting and for golf. I think I bought this one, I don't even remember when, many years ago when I was still in the States for like $100 or something. You can get them, you can get fancier ones, you can get cheaper ones. But I just picked this up on Amazon for under $100. And it is like the greatest thing to give you peace of mind and safety when you're anchoring. So you just point it at the shore and it tells us that we are 80 meters from the rocks. And what I like to do is if I'm in a place that I'm a little uncomfortable with how close I am, it always looks closer than it actually is, but if I feel nervous about it, I'll pull a range, I'll write it on a piece of paper in the logbook on the chart table and leave it. A couple hours later, I'll pull another range, you know, the winds change, tides change, pull a range, and you can just keep logging them and it gives you peace of mind. Another thing it does is you can use it to check your distance to another boat. So if you think a boat's dragging or you're worried that you're dragging, you can pull ranges and on different boats, keep them all written down, and then you know exactly if you or somebody else is moving. So cool. I wish I had known about these when I first started anchoring, but I read about it, I think I read about it in a book on high latitude sailing, where they mentioned getting a rangefinder for like tight spots. And I would never go cruising without a rangefinder at this point in my life. It's fantastic. So do yourself a favor, buy one of these and thank me later. Good morning from Great Barrier Island, Aotearoa Island. Very, very, very peaceful night on the hook last night. Pretty amazing bird sound. Sounds kind of Jurassic a little bit. Yeah, I slept 8 hours without waking last night, which is very rare for me. It's been a minute since I did like a 10-hour, 45 nautical mile passage solo, so yesterday was pretty exhausting. But we had a great day of sailing. I am happy to be here. Gonna have a nice mellow day. I got the dinghy in the water. And gonna check out Port Fitzroy today. It's supposed to be some kind of nature reserve, kind of over that away somewhere, with some cool birds. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of have a peekaboo. I think I'm gonna stay in this spot for like 3 days. So, just gonna see what there is over here, do a little bit of hiking, or tramping as they call it here in New Zealand, and enjoy this lovely weather. I'm gonna head into Port Fitzroy Village for the first time and see what's happening over there. It's supposed to be a shop, a little like restaurant or something at the boating club, and have a walk and see if I can see where this nature reserve is, possibly visit it. So let's go check out Port Fitzroy. Sign says Glenfern Regional Parkland, open 7 days, sunrise to sunset. Cool, awesome. So that's cool, they have a dinghy dock and everything. Come back and check that out later. Awesome. Pretty quiet up here. A couple people getting fuel, but mostly pretty deserted. There's a sign about the places you're not allowed to anchor here on the island, which I'm glad that's on an updated sign. Here it is. Some invasive seaweed that's happening, so you can't anchor there. I saw something on Navionics, it was from this year, that someone said there's mooring balls you can use. So I gotta look into that further, because that'd be cool. A couple of those spots I want to visit, so we'll see. Here's the sign in the road, and we're just gonna walk around. Simple little store. I think the cargo boat is showing up today. Saw a sign down at the wharf that looked like that. I'll probably restock that store quite a bit today. Had a couple things. I picked up a few things I forgot at the grocery store, but they had a decent selection actually. More than what I thought they would, considering what I'd read about the limited resources at that store. So I'm gonna make my way back down and hop over and check out that nature reserve. so cool. That's the first ray I've seen in New Zealand. Just stopped in the office. They were super helpful and really nice. Had a good visit with them. There's the one of the New Zealand parrots, the kaka, on this island, which I think is what I heard yesterday that I'd never heard before. So he said I'll probably see them. They're pretty common here. So stoked about that possibility. There's a slide. That is really funny. My guess is that's a kaka. I've never heard that sound. Sound like some Atari game sounds. Yeah, that was a kaka. Awesome. I want to see one up close now. Swing bridge. This is cool. The woman at the visitor center said that this is like, I think she said it's a 600-year-old kauri tree. And she said it's better for observing the tree than at the roots because there's a pest killing off the kauri trees. So this is the safest place to be up in the canopy. Really cool. It is incredibly beautiful up here at Sunset Rock. Some low clouds coming in. I don't know if it's fog or rain or what, but I'll start making my way back down to the dinghy. I'm glad I hiked up though, it's so gorgeous. Came over here because I heard one of the kaka parrots. They're very big, like almost the size of a crow. He's up there eating. You won't be able to see him because of the tree, but hear him? So cool. That was a tui that just flew in. So stoked to see that bird. Awesome. If you enjoy the content on this channel and would like to contribute, you can consider joining the Patreon crew. Thanks for watching. Fair winds until next time.